Shalom fam, this is Owr Ibri with the Living Word Initiative, author, investor, and consultant. And I want to come to you today with a video titled Practical Applications of Prayer and Fasting. So today in this video, I want to talk about prayer and fasting and their importance in your life. Now, before I get into this video, I want to let you all know my main objective and my main purpose is to take things that we have been taught, quote unquote, religiously, and give you the practical application of them so that way you can apply them to your life to improve your life. Oftentimes, the things that we've been told that are what we call religious, they've been given to us as ways to bind us or to trap us or to imprison us, when in fact, the principles of these teachings and the principles of these practices are things that were supposed to be freeing us. So if something is binding us or keeping us in bondage, we're gonna automatically, by nature, fight against it. However, if you are given the tools to show that these things that we've been given to bind us are actually meant to free us and to uplift us and to empower us, and you are given the proper application of these things, then you will be more inclined to do the things that were put there to uplift you and empower you. See, the thing is, the things that we were given by nature to improve us were twisted in a way to make us want to go against it, which makes us want to go against what's natural, which then puts us in even further bondage. Or the things and the principles that we have been taught have been mistaught, that we have been miseducated by them, so we are misappropriating them in the wrong facet, and we're not getting the results that we're meant to be given. So that's my main goal and my main purpose, to take the things that we were given as quote unquote religion and apply it practically, so that way you can get that freedom that the Creator gave it to you for in the first place. So today, fasting and prayer. Now, this is going to touch on a couple of things that I've spoken on before, and is also going to touch on something new. So fasting and prayer are supposed to be things that help your body and that help your mind. And specifically, I want to actually touch on fasting and prayer in regards to the brain. How does fasting and prayer affect your brain, affect your mind? So I want to read something here that I found online while doing some research, and this is in regards to fasting and its effects on the brain. So I'm going to read here. It says, fasting as well as exercise stimulates the production of a protein in nerve cells called brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF. This protein plays critical roles in learning, memory, and the generation of new nerve cells in the hippocampus. BDNF also makes neurons more resistant to stress. Remember, we talked about that before, good stress and what it does to the body and what it does to the mind. Fasting also triggers a process called, hold on, let me move this up, autophagy, where cells remove damaged molecules and dysfunctional mitochondria and turns off cell growth. So neurons are in a kind of resource conservation and stress resistance mode during fasting. When So when we, when we eat after we fast, the neurons shift to a growth mode, and they make lots of proteins, grow, and form new synapses. We think these cycles of metabolic challenge, whether it's exercise or fasting, and then a recovery period, may optimize neuroplasticity, learning, memory, and the resistance of brain to stress, and the resistance of the brain to stress. So basically, what this is saying is when you fast, it actually improves your cognitive abilities. When you come back and you eat after you fast, it helps improve your memory. It helps improve your ability to resist stress, and it optimizes your neuroplasticity. it optimizes your learning and it optimizes your memory. So that's the great part about the fasting aspect. Now the prayer aspect, because oftentimes we're often taught to pray and fast. Put those two together. Yes, we're taught to pray, but oftentimes when you really are trying to get something accomplished, when you really want the Most High to work in your favor, you're taught to pray and to fast. This is where the practical part comes in. That we take away the spookism, we take away the mysticism, we take away all of that other stuff, and we get down to what is it basically, and what is the practical function of it. So when we talked about praying before, we talked about how praying activates the RAS, the reticular activating system, which is when your brain takes in all the information and it filters the things specifically to you that are important or that reaffirm what it is that you believe, what it is that you think, what it is that you know. It also is the part of the brain that sends you information that helps you solve a problem or sends you information that highlights something that you want highlighted. Hence where we get the term, or we get that when you're thinking about a red car or you're looking for a red car and all of a sudden you start seeing red cars everywhere. That's what that is a part of. So when you're putting a problem into your brain starts filtering out all of the things in your environment or all of the information that you take in and that you learn to help you solve that problem. So when you pray, first off, when we read in scripture, the Most High, especially when we read in Torah in the Old Testament, the Most High always says, ask of me a sign. I don't know where we get this thing where, oh, I don't want to ask the Creator for anything. I don't want to burden him about, I don't know where we get that from. Because you have in the story of Gideon, in the story in the book of Isaiah, I want to say it's King Ahaz, and a few other instances when the Most High says, ask of me a sign. In the New Testament, we're taught, knock and it shall be answered. Seek and you shall find. These are all religious or spiritual aspects of a very simple understanding of your reticular activating system. Because when you start putting certain questions or certain things in your mind starts processing and it starts filtering and giving you information that is going to solve that problem. So that's where the prayer part comes in at. The fasting part comes into when you're fasting and then you come back down off of your fast, your brain and your cognitive abilities are sharper. So your memory is better. Your recovery period is better. Your resistance to stress is better. Your learning is better. So if fasting improves your learning and prayer focuses your mind in on the things in which are going to help you solve a problem, it's a very practical application. It's nothing deep about it. It's very simple application. Prayer and fasting. And you wonder why when you pray and you fast, you have what you deem is an epiphany. It's right, the proof is right there. The functionalities of the brain. These are the things that we've been taught, but we've been taught to use these things to bond ourselves as opposed to freeing ourselves. So we've been taught to pray for things that we already have. These things have already been given to us. Yes, you want to be grateful. Absolutely, you want to be grateful. That's where the law of attraction comes in at. But at the same time, you want to ask for new things so that way it can be brought to you. The information can be brought to you on how to do these things. And then you want to fast so that way your brain is at its optimal level to be able to process the information and the knowledge that has been brought to you. So that way all of that has been given to you. That's when the last part comes in when it says faith without works is dead. You have to do the work. So now you're getting the information. Now your brain is at the optimal level it can, at optimal level it needs to be at to take in the information and to hold the information for you because your memory gets improved. Now when you take the actions, which is the works, to act on what it is that you asked for, now it can happen. And now it comes to be. And that will manifest. Very simple process. Very simple concept, people. It is. And when you understand how to make these things work, then you understand how to improve and better your life. So even with the fasting, we've been taught to fast, and our mindset, our state of mind is in a bondage state. So when we're fasting, all we're thinking about, I'm sorry, not everyone, I don't want to group everybody, but a lot of times when we're fasting, we are thinking about the things that we can't have or the things that we miss, and we start, oh man, I can't wait to have this, can't wait to have that. Bonding ourselves. No. Focus in on when you're praying, focus in on what it is that you're asking for or what it is that you're trying to achieve, so that way your brain can then empower itself even better to hold and harness that information that you're receiving, so that way when you go and act on it, you can achieve your goals and your ambitions. That's why it says the more you pray, the more you'll get. That's because the more you pray, the more focused in you are on the goal and what it is that you're trying to achieve. The more you fast, the more you get. That's because the more you're fasting, the stronger you're making your brain. The more resistant to stress you're making your mind. Simple concept. Then you throw exercise in there, and now you're doing all of these wonderful things that are helping you achieve what it is that you're trying to achieve. It's not difficult. Not a difficult concept to understand. It's very simple. And when you start implementing these things, this is what you get. These are the things in which the Creator gave you naturally. That's why I always preach, everything you need is on the inside. All of these things you need are already in your mind. They're already there. You've just been taught the inappropriate or the inaccurate or the incorrect way to apply these things. You've been taught to look outside of yourself for what it is that you need, when the Creator put everything you need inside of you. You just have to figure out how to go and get it. And then on top of it, you being miseducated, you also are being consistently distracted. Remember, we talked about the reticular activating system, the RAS. What we're talking about right now in this video is like the black box of your brain, like the black box on an airplane, how it records every single thing that's going on in the airplane. Your RAS does the same exact thing. And then it starts spewing out stuff to reaffirm whatever your beliefs are. And when I say beliefs, I'm not just talking about, your belief in a deity or anything. If you're afraid of a specific group of people or a specific area or a part of town or a part of the country, everything that your little black box records is going to spew out information to your conscious to reaffirm that. So you're going to pay more attention to certain statistics. You're going to pay more attention to certain news stories. You're going to pay more attention to certain things. My sage, Serene, he had said something that was real important. I absolutely love conversing with him because he has so much knowledge. Your RAS will spew to you things. So you walking down the hallway and the wind blow your hair and you think it's a ghost because you think certain things are a specific way. That's something that you believe. So now that's what your mind feeds you. So whenever wind blow the wrong way, you're thinking, that's a spirit. Whenever you see something dark across the corner of your eye, that's a spirit. And I used to actually think that. Like, y'all see I have long hair. Sometimes I would turn my head, and my hair would be here, but it'd be in my peripheral. And I'm thinking, I just saw a spirit. Then I realized, idiot, no, you're seeing your hair. Like, your brain is going to feed you whatever it is that you believe. Your mind, your RAS, is going to feed you whatever it is that you subscribe to. It's going to reaffirm that. So that's why your ego is dangerous. You have to subdue your ego. And it starts with the prayer and the fasting that we're talking about, because you get back control of your mind. You have to have it all working in unison toward what it is. And also, one thing that I taught on is having that core set of principles. Having something that does not waver, because your ego will have you thinking that you're serving the Creator when you're really serving yourself. You have to be careful. So with that, this is Owr Ibri. Remember, prayer, fasting. Don't look at it as something that's religious. Don't look at it as something that is making you holier than thou. Look at it as a way that your mind is helping you achieve your goals. If you need to look at it as being something that's spiritual or religious, that's you. But like I said, my goal is to take the things in which we were taught and make them practically applicable so everyone can use them. Because at the end of the day, these are laws of nature. This specific knowledge don't belong to a certain group of people. It is a law of nature and anyone can take advantage of it. Simple as that. So you all have a wonderful evening. This is Owr Ibri with the Living Word Initiative. I'll see y'all later.